Land Rover Series 2A. I originally bought this in Arizona, Prescott, Arizona, as just a chassis and a frame and some wheels and a driveline. Put a transmission in it, put an engine in it, restored it, brought it back to life. Been daily driving it for, I don't know, a while now, but it's time to fund some other projects. It got rained on, by the way, today. This is painted in Arles blue. Paint job's fine. It's nothing to write home about, but and it was my first paint job. All this stuff has been done solely by me. I spent about 1.5 years restoring this car. Really nice car. I've loved driving it around. See, I painted the little guy limestone because I thought that was fun. Door handles too are in limestone instead of Arles blue. A little bit of soundproofing here and there. It's got the Safari top with, a dome light that I need to install. And I put a rolled cage from a Toyota 4Runner, 1984 Toyota 4Runner, in it with reinforcement plates on the bottom. It's got new window seals on the rear and the front. You can tell because I can barely open it. It's got everything working just fine. Starts right up. Here we go. We'll fire a little puppy up. So, a little bit of choke. Put it in neutral so that you don't jump forward. And that's from cold. And after a minute or two, it'll be all warmed up. We see we got voltage, fuel, water temperature, oil pressure. Working, believe it or not. Oop. Actually working windshield wipers, which are more or less of a joke, so don't use it in the rain. Rear view mirror that vibrates like crazy. I'm going to replace these high back seats with low back seats, and I built this guy myself, and I think I'm going to keep it, so it's my little junk box for everything. Got high range, low range, 4-wheel drive, first, second, third. Again, a little bit of soundproofing here and there. There's the back, sides, and rear. Pretty nice Land Rover. I've been kind of daily driving this one for about, I don't know, last year or so. I'm going to turn it off. And so when I got it, it had no engine. I purchased an engine, took the engine completely apart, and put oversized pistons in. I believe they're 40 over. Put new crankshaft bearings, camshaft. I used the ECR 2.5 camshaft, alternator, Series 3 reservoir with the vacuum assist. That's a standard Zenith carburetor. Optima battery, that's electronic ignition with the electronic coil, and of course some blue electrical tape to freak out everybody who's a Land Rover enthusiast. Went through the entire engine, hardened valve seats, new valve guides, new valve seats, raised the compression to just a slightly over 8-to-1 compression. Runs great. You can see the little sensor right there is not plugged in because the sensor over here is plugged in instead. So went through the entire engine with the machinist and just rebuilt it all, made it run beautifully. So that's the engine compartment. You can see here's the front grille, twin headlights. I think something to notice that's very special about this Land Rover, and something that you won't see, is that it is absolutely perfect as far as the body goes. In fact, you look right here for those true Land Rover enthusiasts, and you can see the actual spot welds all along here on both sides. Rear tail lights are not original, and turn signals. Some of you guys are going to freak out about that one, but I think a couple of them were cracked or destroyed, and so I didn't destroy them. You can see this is my first paint job because you got the good work there, Watley. In the back, reinforced roll bar. It's reinforced on the underside, but you know, you don't want to roll over in this thing because you'll die. Original tire with original spare, which is in okay condition, but is more of an aesthetic thing than a beauty thing. I did do the top inside of the Safari with a Sailrite material. Didn't do it perfectly, but it looks pretty good. Again, more sound dampening material on the sides because the sound in these things kind of drive you a little bit crazy. As far as condition of everything else, brand new gas tank on the underside here. Probably the number one thing that you're gonna wonder about with this guy is there any rust? And I can tell you right now, this is a completely rust-free vehicle. What you're seeing right here is underbody paint, which is a little bit dirty. There is no rust in the wheel wells. There is no rust anywhere at all. Oh, there's the original color, which is that god-awful pastel green. Parabolic suspension, which you can see there, front and rear. Exhaust system, everything running happy, no overdrive in it, so your maximum speed's about 55 miles an hour. Again, what is phenomenal about this thing is that this frame is absolutely solid. If you look at these old Land Rovers, their frames never look like this. This isn't rust, by the way. This is